Blessed be, blessed be, blessed be, and welcome, 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 beloved sisters, to our third annual Avalon Samhain Mysterium. We are so happy that you are here. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and many blessings from Amaya and I, who is here as well. As you are coming through into this sacred space, we honor you for what called you forth at this time in this potent portal and season of Samhain. We honor each and every one of you for hearing this soul calling, for that which brought you forth, whether this was from Avalon herself, from one of the specific goddesses that we'll be working with and journeying with, perhaps from your own ancestors. So whatever brought you here to this space, I invite you to place a hand onto your heart and or your womb space to take a few breaths here, 9 breaths, for honoring this call, for honoring your intuition, for honoring this season, for honoring your path. As you place this hand upon your heart, feeling that rhythm, that pulsation, the blood, that you are alive, that you are in this season, and that your soul of that which is shedding, that which is dying, that which you are letting go of, and all that will be and is ready to be reborn. So we are in this sacred space together, opening forth into this space this heartbeat, this pulsation of you, your soul incarnated here and now, giving reverence and honor to this moment. And you can begin to open your eyes as we will be journeying deeply very soon. And just letting a little bit of light in here to bring yourself forth in this way of acknowledging the technological realms that we are present to and in as we connect heart to heart. And so you can place on Zoom, you can go to the screen and you can see your sisters, and we want to honor everyone that is here. So if you are coming in for the first time ever to a ritual or ceremony online with Amaya and I, will you just start to wave your hands a little bit, and then that way keep going, and then all of the sisters who have been here before, you can see and witness your beautiful angels, witches, sorceresses, priestesses who are coming in to this sacred space from all around the world, in the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere. And then we'll do the reverse. Those of you sisters then that have been a part of our rituals online before, you can now bring a wave to your other sisters, and in this way to greet each other, to know that your sisters who are coming in for the first time are being welcomed by you as we co-create a circle of sisterhood, of connection, of honoring, and to know that you are held, you are supported, you are celebrated, you are honored, you are witnessed as you are now. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And as we are here with our hands together and this wave, may we just begin by placing your own hands to the front of the screen, and in this way to honor to honor yourself for being here, for being full, present in your authenticity and all of your vulnerability and all of your aches and all of your celebrations, however you're feeling, whatever you are going through right now, all of you is welcomed. So take a breath with that. All of you is welcomed. And in this way, as you bring yourself forward, you also honor each sister here, that all that is in and shared within this container remains in this container. So to know that your confidentiality, your vulnerability, your power, your truth is held in the sacred sanctuary that is our Avalon Sound Mysterium. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Bringing those hands together at the heart, your thumbs to your sternum, feeling that heart beating again. Maybe it's fast, maybe it's thumping. Letting out a sound, a sigh, a breath. And then just leaning in forward and just bowing. This simple act of reverence is deeply profound. Reverence to all sisters here, reverence to Avalon, reverence to our dark goddesses, reverence to this season, reverence to the great mystery. And so blessed be, blessed be, blessed be, and welcome. We will be journeying deeply and profoundly. And before we begin that part of our experience, I want to just bring forth a few important reminders. And so it takes a sisterhood, and the great power and the great connection that we share together during our time is going to deeply impact all of us here. I feel teary-eyed to know that many of you have been here last year and the year before, and to remember what was happening in your life this time last year or the year before, and all of the shift and changes. So we know this is a powerful year where great change has been continually taking place, and it will continue to do so. We will continue to change, and that is, of course, the nature of creation. And within that, there is the great death. There is the big shift of this season. So please remember to be gentle with yourself, to be continually coming home to yourself with your breath. And it's at this time where you can continue to take your tea, and just a reminder of some things that we've invited you with our prep guide for you to have with you. And if you don't have these, it's all okay. Everything you have and as you are now is absolutely perfect, and is just, you have everything here. Your heart, your presence is the most important. And you may wish to, if you haven't already done so, to light candles, to have your journal and a pen, to have a dark shawl or blanket, and this supports to be in the frequency of death and rebirth and the power of the dark season that we're in. To have water. You may wish to bring your essential oils that you have and begin to place them on your palms and to bless yourself, maybe to put them on your feet. If you have any of the incredible flower essences from either Gaia's Wisdom, from Amaya's line, or of your own, you can begin to take those, or when it feels good for you. And to have with you, if possible, if you already have your apple and a plate or cutting knife. We're not going to do that now, we'll have that later, but just a reminder. And then just a couple technical pieces here is to have your spell cards, and if they're not printed, don't worry about it. We will be speaking these aloud, so if you don't have them printed, please don't worry. And if you do, wonderful. To have your, oh yes, if I didn't say, your cauldron, or a cauldron-like vessel of sorts that can withstand a little bit of fire. And just a reminder for our Facebook group, if you're already in there, welcome. And if you're not already, you are being let in. If for some reason you asked to be let into the group and it didn't go through, please just send us an email, connect@priestessesoftherose.com, because it could be that there was like a mismatch with how you registered. So we want to make sure you get in the group. And then your magical prep guide. And so this is, of course, to be utilized for now, for our whole 6 days together. And this really brings us into the frequencies of Cerridwen and the Morrigan and Ariane Rod and of Avalon. We want to also share with you that timing. Today's call is going to be a bit longer than usual. Because we're going through some aspects of grounding in and technicalities. So Amay and I were connecting, and what feels really true for us, and we would request this if possible, is that you actually set aside 2.5 hours. And whether we use that whole time or not, it will enable you to be able to have time for transition, for further reflection, or journaling, and to really be in this space. So we apologize for not putting 2.5 hours in the first couple emails. And we want to make this, because this is such a special and unique time. We just want to make sure that you really are able to absorb and integrate and to reflect and assimilate everything that is taking place for you emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually. So those are that's that request, and those are those introductory pieces. And again, just a couple little reminders, they're in the email, but we will be, just know that the portal space is yours for all of the recordings, for the spell cards, the prep guide. We are going to be putting in the recordings, if you can't make it live, as soon as possible after we're done recording. So we won't send out another email that says, hey, replays are ready. We just want you to know that, within a couple hours upon completion, they will be there. So you can go there for the replays. Okay, that is it for the announcements. And it is at this time that if you do have a candle, and if it's possible, that you can either place it right by, near, or within your cauldron. And in this way, this brings reverence to and light to awareness and focalization to the symbolism of this cauldron, which is, of course, is not only just this entire Samhain season, but is really dedicated to our beloved Cerridwen, who we will be journeying with today. So, beloved ones, with that, I will hand over the cauldron, the talking cauldron, to my beloved sister priestess, Amaya. Thank you, Amaya.
Thank you, Achintya, and welcome, welcome, welcome. So beautiful to see all your faces. I loved, seeing old, familiar faces who I've journeyed with and we've journeyed with, and new sister faces. So welcome. So, of course, we've been sharing a lot as we've been offering this invitation to all of you. And for those of us in the Northern Hemisphere, of course, we're honoring Samhain, and there are many sisters here who are joining us from the Southern Hemisphere, and they are celebrating and honoring this potent time of Beltane. And these two polarities being held by both of us is how this wheel continues to turn and stabilize and be in wholeness. So thank you to all of you who are joining all over the world, imagining these seeds of light that we are activating and potentiating, not just in our own selves, but on the lands that we live on, in our communities, in our families. So Samhain is this deep dive in, as you know. And this year, the Samhain portal actually runs. It began on Friday, November 6th, when the sun moved into 15 degrees Scorpio, and will be all throughout the majority of our time together will be in the Samhain portal through its completion, which is on November 14th, which is lunar Samhain, when it is the new moon in Scorpio. And so every year these dates change, they're not static, and this is how the ancient ones would honor these high holy days, not stamped in the Gregorian calendar. And so really it's here now when we honor these moments through the stars and through the celestial realms that we really follow in the footsteps of our ancestors, and we follow in the footsteps of those who came before us. And of course, you may continue to feel the Samhain portal and the Samhain energies beyond November 14th. It's not just, oops, the portal closes. Time isn't linear like that. And so we will be really held during this time, and it's just a blessing for all of us. So how the call is going to go today and for these next 3 days with our 3 dark goddesses, especially for the women who are new to our co-creations, Achintia and I, we generally offer some kind of more mental, heady information because we all love that and we all love to know that we're digesting from that space. And then there will be a guided journey, which is truly a foundation for the priestess path. On all priestess temples throughout time, the motto, the anchor is know thyself. And so each of you goes on a deep quest to know thyself. And the way that we do that is through the information in our own bodies that comes forth through the divine communications. So what I am going to start with is a story all about Cerridwen, and then Achintia and I will be co-leading a ritual for you. Before that happens, we are going to call forth Avalon into our space. So there are many of you who have walked those lands, her lands in the 3D. There are many of you who have dreamed of walking her lands in the 3D. And there are many of you who are just beginning to awaken that maybe there's some morsels or synchronicities that are landing in your life that are directing you to the holy lands of Avalon. And truly, this Mysterium could not exist without the generosity of Avalon calling us all home. So we dedicate the entire Mysterium to Avalon, to being her sacred emissaries in this world, and to offering that which is that she plants inside of us. And as a reminder, if you missed any of the information that we shared, because obviously last week was a very enormous week in the United States and around the world, a portion of all of the tuition here will be donated and gifted back to Avalon, to both the Chalice Well that preserves and honors the Red Springs and the Red Spring Wellhead, and also we will be gifting to the White Springs and to the organization that preserves, honors, and stewards the White Springs. So here we honor the elemental of water, the divine feminine, the divine masculine, and the unification that really truly Avalon creates. So if you wish to close your eyes for a moment, take in some deep breaths. And just allowing the drum beat to anchor you into the heartbeat of your body, of Gaia, of the cosmos, and to each sister here, weaving together a fabric of unity, equality, equity, justice, humanity, sisterhood. And perhaps placing a hand over your heart, a hand over your womb space, or both hands over your heart, whatever feels most resonant for you. our greatest prayer and greatest intentions to elevate, to activate, to continue to walk our soul's path and destinies, that we call you forth, Avalon. We call you forth, and we call you awake into this space that we are co-creating. We call you through the mists, for us to move through the mists so that we meet and greet each other. We call you awake, Avalon, into our womb spaces, our heart spaces, and our mind spaces. We call you awake. The heart chakra of the planet. The place where the elementals thrive, where the fae and all of the kings and the queens, the gods, the goddesses, the plants and the trees, the stone beings, the dragons and the dragon nation are alive and working to preserve the mysteries every moment. We call you awake, that we meet you, that we are granted entryway with safety and sanctuary to the star temple that you are. To the place that has offered sanctuary to the royal bloodline, to so many myths and tales, including the Holy Grail. We feel you, Avalon. Thank you for calling us home. We are your daughters. Your partners. Your guardians. And in this space we call forth Cerridwen, the Morrigan, Arianrod, and all the benevolent guides, allies, teachers that walk with each of these dark crone goddesses. And we invite you into this space with all of our love and gratitude. We call you forth knowing that we are stepping into the mysteries, into all that we are ready to experience, to align with soul self for the greatest good of all beings everywhere. We feel you, Avalon. We feel you, Cerridwen, the Morrigan, and Arianrod, and all benevolent beings. And we welcome you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And so it is. And so mote it be. Blessed be. Taking a moment to feel whatever is alive for you in this moment. Feeling all of the energies that are now spoken for, that are now here and present and alive. And so it is my great honor in this moment to share about our first dark goddess of the Mysterium, who is Cerridwen. And so the invitation is for you to get as comfortable as you can, to perhaps close your eyes so that you can really feel the story in your body. Of course, if you wish to, open them and write anything down, please do so. But there's something about just receiving. These dark goddesses are wishing to be known by all of us, and I'm sure they're making themselves known to you in your life in various ways. And so when we really put our palms up and open ourselves and all of our senses to receive, it's a deep act of honoring and respect. And when we do this, not only are we hearing their stories, but because these are the dark goddesses, we are giving space for the dark that has been exiled and forgotten and ignored. Cerridwen and all of these goddesses have very significant stories to share, and they're, as all goddesses, multi-layered and multifaceted. And so as you listen to the story of Cerridwen, please understand that there are so many layers within what I'm sharing. And so Cerridwen, we bow to you as you are here in this space. Thank you for your willingness and generosity. So Cerridwen, her myth is such a beautiful story to share. Her name actually comes from the Celtic word quar, which means cauldron. And like the goddess herself, the cauldron symbolizes the transformational power that lies in magic, wisdom, rebirth, creative inspiration. So Cerridwen is actually the teacher and goddess of witches and wizards. And of course, on this high holy day that is the new year of the witch, she is very much here and alive. Cerridwen lived on an island in the middle of Lake Tegid, which was named after her husband, and she had 2 children. She had a daughter who was really beautiful and bright and light and fair, and almost like her skin was so white like the moon's reflection from the water. She also had a son named Afagdu, and he was born with kind of physical distortions, and so he was considered quote unquote ugly. His name literally means dark. So she had one child who was super light and bright and one child who was dark and considered ugly. And we find this within Avalonian goddesses that, they're always in relationship with the entirety of creation, the light and the dark, the polarity that creates existence. And like all mothers, Cerridwen wished the best for her children. And she thought that her child, Afagdu, would not be included, right? So he would not belong amongst the men of noble birth to sit around the sacred round table because he was ugly. And so she knew that he had to have some exalted knowledge, wisdom, or merit in order to be invited and included. And this was all at the beginning of King Arthur's time. So this was almost 2,000 years ago. She wanted that for him. So she wanted him to have a place of belonging. And so she studied all the books of all the alchemists, and she mastered the art of brewing in her cauldron. And she mastered the art of brewing inspiration so that her son would be received, and he would be received honorably because of the vast knowledge that he would hold of the mysteries, of the future state of the world. And this brew that she envisioned contained and was Awen. We're going to talk about this really throughout the Mysterium. But this brew would bestow knowledge of all things, of past, of present, of future. And this would be bestowed upon her son so that he would have a more easeful life. And so she set off to brew this magical potion in her sacred cauldron. And she learned under which moon to gather herbs, under which stars to steep the herbs. And it's during this time which she added 6 different herbs at just the most potent, accurate astrological times. Some believe it was 9 herbs to represent the 9 Morrigans, but the 6 that we know for sure were included were the yellow flowers of cowslip, floxfort, hedgeberry, blue vervain, the berries of mistletoe, and sea foam, actually, from the ocean, from the sea. And all of this, once it was poured into the brew, was then warmed by the breath of 9 maidens. 9 is a very significant number that we'll share more about tomorrow. And this brew required a mixing and an alchemy through a year and a day. And through that whole time, the air had to be kept the exact perfect temperature. The potion had to be stirred just right. And this was more than Cerridwen could do alone. And so she asked a young boy named Gwion to aid her in the stirring. And she asked a blind man named Morda to feed the kindling and keep the fire going. That was so much of her devotion to her son. Like, there was this massive dream that she held, and she needed the people to help her. And so for a year and a day, all of this devotion was put into the brew. And on the very last day, as Gwion stirred the potion sunwise, just for good luck, and Cerridwen was off gathering a couple more herbs, 3 drops sprang from the cauldron and landed on Gwion's hand. So perhaps the fire got too hot and the potion bubbled up and landed on him, or he stirred it too hard, but 3 drops of the potion flew out of the cauldron. He landed on his thumb, and scalded by the hot liquid, he instinctively put his thumb in his mouth to ease the pain. And in this way, all of the power that Cerridwen had intended for her beloved son, Afogdu, was instead given to Gwion. And in that moment, Gwion was filled with this massive, great light that burst open the horizons of his mind, of all of the liminal spaces. It was as if everything that had ever happened and was going to happen in the world rolled out before him. Infinity and all consciousness made a home here and then in his entire being. And he joined the ranks of those enlightened, of those with Awen. And just a moment after that, Gwion saw Cerridwen coming towards him, her face exploding with anger. He dropped his spoon and he ran, but she came close and close behind him. She was so rageful that he had Awen, and he heard her footsteps, and he ran and he ran and he ran, and he thought about becoming a hare, a rabbit, that would leap him and bounce him to safety. And because he thought it and he had Awen, he turned into a hare and he leapt away. But Cerridwen, the goddess of shape-shifting and transformation, turned into a greyhound, and greyhounds are fast. And Gwion got nervous. He could feel her breath on his neck, and he bounded to the edge of the lake, and he leapt into the water, and his thoughts were, I'm becoming a fish. And he became a salmon swimming away through the dark waters of Avalon. Cerridwen leapt into the water, and she became an otter. And those salmon are very quick, otters are quicker. And her paws flexed right to get him. But the fish leapt out of the water, And in his thoughts, Gwion became a bird. He became a crow, beating so fast with his wings to get away. And away he flew. But Cerridwen leapt out of the water, and she turned into a hawk. Hawks are faster than crows. And she swooped down and she dug her talons into the neck of the small bird. But at the last minute, Gwion thought, what could be the tiniest thing he could be? And he turned into a grain of wheat. And he dropped down between the talons of the hawk into a field. And there he hid with thousands of other grains of wheat, teeny, teeny, tiny. And the hawk Cerridwen, she turned herself into a black hen. She flew down from the sky onto the ground, and she pecked, right? This mother's love. She pecked until she found that one grain, and she swallowed him. And no sooner had she swallowed the grain of wheat that the great cauldron that had been brewing this awen cracked. It split into two. And this black liquid oozed out because it was only the first 3 drops that were needed, that were filled with this bright light of awen. The rest was actually poisonous. And so this black liquid trickled into the rivers. It poisoned the land. It poisoned the horses, all the animals. But in the belly of Cerridwen, this little grain of wheat actually grew, and it grew in her womb until she was pregnant for 9 months. And at 9 months, Cerridwen gave birth to a baby boy. So in her mind, that whole time she was pregnant, those 9 months, she knew that when the baby was born, she was going to take her dagger and kill this being who had taken from her son. And she went to slit his throat once he was born with her dagger. But she looked into his eyes and she couldn't. She realized this was her son. She could not kill this being. So she sewed this leather pouch and she wrapped this tiny baby up and put the baby in this leather pouch. She tucked it under her arm and she went to the moors that went to the ocean, and she cast this pouch with this baby into the cold salt waters. This little pouch went spinning and spinning in the waters, some say for hundreds and hundreds of years. But in that time, this child who was wrapped up did not age by 1 day. And then, of course, one day, this Welsh prince named Elphin, who lived at the mouth of the river, he was in a challenging time of his life. He was very much in debt, and he had heard that the salmon were running in the river, and his thought was to go to the river to catch some salmon to make some money. So he cast his net and he waited all night. And in the morning, he went to the net and he found this baby in a leather pouch. And so he opens it up and he says, whoa, this baby has a shining brow. In Welsh, the shining brow is what we know as Taliesin, the greatest prophet, the greatest poet that Wales had ever known. Some say that was Merlin himself. And so through Cerridwen's experience, all that happened up to this moment, she actually births a lineage of the greatest poets and prophets from that one moment of Gwion licking his thumb and accidentally experiencing awen. So there's many, many aspects to this story. There's many deeper meanings and deeper currents than just what's here on the surface. So I just want to kind of land them in here before we complete. The story is actually considered to be an early version of what's to be the quest for the Holy Grail. The Holy Grail, that is the vessel of the goddess that contains her blood. Some believe it contains wine, or the chalice that bore the blood of Christ, the blood of Mary Magdalene, that was Mary Magdalene's womb space that created the royal bloodline. And so here's this vessel, this cauldron that contains herbs with specific moon phases. it contains the devotion we have to ourself, to another, to something greater than. And this creates Awen. And Awen is actually the force we are all looking to commune with. Awen helps to birth ourself after deep change happens. So you can look at it as birthing your Christ self, your Magdalena self, your goddess self. The cauldron in this story is a massive aspect. It's always a central image in Celtic traditions. And there are three different types of cauldrons: the cauldron of transformation, the cauldron of rebirth, the cauldron of inspiration. And Cerridwen's cauldron actually contains all three. It's a Trinity cauldron. And as the keeper of the Trinity cauldron, all of life originates here. Right? She labors at her cauldron, stirring up the forces of inspiration from the great womb of the mother, divine knowledge, the eternal cycle of earth and death and rebirth thrive here. She brews her alchemical brew of Awen for a year and a day, and in the priestess tradition in Avalon, this is how long an actual course of study is, because you're journeying through every season, every high holy day and gateway, and because you are made up of each of the elementals. So when you journey through every season, the elementals are able to animate through you. Every season has a very specific element that's more alive, and also medicines that are more present. And you learn through these energetics and the coding within that each are activated and support your epic transformation. We also see the four elements within the journey where Cerridwen is chasing Gwion, beginning with the fire, the primal energy of cooking, this devotional prayer. We see it through the air, the mental plane, as he receives Awen, but of course, as he shapeshifts into a bird, and so does Cerridwen. In the water, the imaginal realms, the imaginal planes, the lands of the feminine. And finally, the earth, as he descends and becomes the wheat into the physical place of the body, right? And then at last, he's swallowed up by Cerridwen, the goddess who creates death to then create life. And so the year and a day is a very significant process of transformation where at the end of that time, the possibility is to experience Awen. And so when you tune into these stories, there are so many things happening. As you can feel, maybe you're feeling it just in your own body besides just your mind. But two things that I want to also say is that each of us here is Cerridwen. Right? So it's not that these goddesses just live outside of us. They're coming to invoke, incarnate, embody within. That we are the ones who transform by giving the gift of truth seeking. And when we create truth seeking, we're forced to be fully present in the physical world in all of life's uncertainty, all of the challenge, all of the fear, the worry, the rich beauty that's there. And also the story is very much about Gwion, right? That through Cerridwen's experience, Gwion has this massive initiation, and she's the force that brings it to him. She is the one that helps at the greatest time, at the deepest change that we are each calling forth. And it can happen when we're not even ready, right? Gwion doesn't intentionally ingest the magical drops, but his initiation begins when he undergoes all of the shape-shifting journey with Cerridwen. So Cerridwen is always at work in our lives. Those moments when our soul is demanding to be attended to, she will hunt us down. She will force us to be fluid, to adapt, to look in the mirror at what is happening, to no longer tolerate, and to shapeshift into new roles, into new ways of reliving and being the change that we want to see in the world. She will plunge us into the dark womb of the mother so that all necessary changes can be made. And then, of course, she gifts us and offers Awen. And so I just wanted to show you, for those of you who have your printed spell cards, you can see this, and those of you who can't, this is the symbol of Awen. And I just want to share a couple pieces that feel really important because we're going to be working with this symbol. And so these three dots at the top, I'm not sure how well you can see this, but the three drops at the top are the three drops of inspiration that burst onto Gwion from Cerridwen's cauldron. And then the three rays of light below the dots contain the potentiality of the entire universe. There's numerous explanations for the three lines that also come out from here, right? As the number 3 is very sacred. So one explanation says that the three lines that come off of the three dots are the rays of light that the sun casts at the midsummer's sunrise, that these rays of light open the gates. Another representation or explanation is that these three lines are actually the point at which the sun rises on the equinoxes and solstices. And because the number 3 is so highly mystical in many different mystery traditions, it's said that these three rays could also be the triple goddess of Maiden, Mother, and Crone. They could represent the lower world, the middle world, and the upper world. They're also said to represent the three levels of mysticism in Celtic mysticism when you study it, which is the bard, the ovate, and the druid. And lastly, if Awen comes from the cauldron of Cerridwen, then this solar power is feminine, feminine inspired and feminine directed. And Awen is bestowed by priestesses at great moments of self-initiation and remembrance. And the rays that circle around these symbols, 3 circles represent the 3 Celtic realms of earth, sky, and sea. And the earth is connected to your womb space, the sea to your heart space, and the sky to your mind. And so breathing in for a moment, Awen, the sacred quest for this that we've knowingly or unknowingly been on, and the feeling when we receive it, and the potentiality that lies there. So let's take a moment to just breathe in as we've heard Cerridwen's story. So you can breathe in and out, Awen, Awen, Awen. And as you breathe in the energies of divine inspiration through the sacred Celtic word, Awen, we transition from our minds into our bodies and into all that Cerridwen wishes to offer in this very moment to each and every one of us here. So thank you, Cerridwen, Fagdu, and Gwion for this invitation to self. And so it is. Awen, Awen, Awen.
Blessed be, blessed be, blessed be. Thank you, Amaya. Thank you, sisters, for receiving. Thank you to Cerridwen and the Cerridwen that lives in all of us. Allowing for Awen to deeply be lived within your being, embodied within. We transition into the journey. You may wish to adjust your seat, if your eyes have been open, inviting you to close them now. We call you forth, Cerridwen, through our very being. We call forth a divine inspiration that lives within our holy body temples, the Holy Grail itself, and inviting us to come into a collective invocation of all when. As all of us are these seeds of light around the world, awakening, remembering, and weaving this tapestry of life together. As each and every one of you and all of us together is coming into another expression, frequency, octave in this great shift in the turning of the ages and in your evolutionary soul journey. We are remembering, we are reawakening to the legacy in which you have agreed to be a part of at this turning of the wheel. This transfiguration, transformational journey that you are on that is greatly shifting. And so honoring the quest, the journey that is both of self and that which is shared. And an invitation to bring forth, oh, when? That isn't something outside of you, but is actually right here within you. So inviting you to place your hands upon your womb space and or your heart space, or in any other formation that feels powerful and nourishing for you. Taking an inhale and then exhaling out fully. Together we will chant Awen 9 times to invoke this divine inspiration within yourself, within our circle, and for all beings everywhere. And so we begin with the exhale. Inhale to sound. to sound this with your breath. As the sound brings you deeper and deeper into yourself, into the remembrance of all when the divine inspiration that lives within you. This sound that brings you deeper into knowing and remembering the infinite part of yourself. Here, the sacred time and space, the portal of transfiguration, transformation, death, and rebirth that is Samhain. May you feel a grounding cord beginning to come from the seat of which you sit. Beneath where you are sitting, allow for this depth of this grounding cord to reach through the sands and seas and soils to the core of the earth, rooting you and feeling the great protection, support, and love of the Great Mother, of Gaia, Sophia. And feeling the opening from your soul star, your crown, just above your crown, the place here where you call forth the divine inspiration of your soul self, and feel yourself connecting into the cosmos and this unique timeline astrologically, the celestial timing, divine timing. Feeling yourself connected as a vessel between heaven and earth. Welcoming in any further guides, guardians, angels that you have a relationship with. Perhaps benevolent ancestors who will be deepening with tomorrow. For you to feel this great counsel supporting you. Feeling the space behind you and in front of you from where you have come and where you are going to. Feeling a sister to your left and to your right, knowing that you are held in the sacred circle. Allowing your breath to be deep, full, present. There is a summoning. Sound of remembrance. The bells are calling you forth. The bells ring an ancient memory stored within your blood, your bones, your spirit. Bells become louder, bringing you to a place of ancient, future, present memory. You can see the opening in your mind's eye find yourself where the land meets water. The sun has set. You can't really see anything. You can hear the bells summoning you into a great mystery that is unknown but yet familiar. There is trust. There is a knowingness, a depth of magic that you sense as a part of you. All around. Oh, through the mists, a barge appears. These are the mists of Avalon, her sacred cloak of protection and revelation. The bells are the ringing bells to carry you forth at this time, where the barge comes right to your feet. As if it is alive and moving of its own volition. And here you can sense another presence. There are orbs of light, of benevolence and magic that are beckoning you to stand forth from where you are at the water's edge and to journey. You can hear the invitation of Cerridwen coming forth as she beckons you. Owen, Owen, Owen. You step forth and enter onto the barge, knowing that you are about to make a great journey. And you can sense that before the barge leaves, there is something that you need to leave behind. And you lay this at the water's edge for that which is ready and needed to be left behind for this great sojourn. And you do so. Perhaps this is the letting go of doubt or angst. Whatever that may be for you, you lay this down as an offering to the water's edge. And as you lay that down, the boat begins to move. There is a gentle gliding, your hands touching this barge of great myth and remembrance, the orbs of light bringing you forth, guiding you, blessing you through the mists. As you glide through, you can feel into your heart and know that you are entering the heart of the world. And it is here that you can feel from your own heart an offering that you wish to gift to Avalon. Perhaps this is your own devotion or your willingness. Perhaps your commitment to this life, open to the unknown. Perhaps an offering of gratitude, of thanks. And you offer this from your heart to her heart. And as Avalon graciously receives you, her mists begin to part. As the barge continues to move through, you can see more clearly now the land in front of you. When. It is still night, and so you're trying to make out what exactly that you see, but you can see. You can see through in the dark. The barge arrives at the shore. The orbs of light gracefully support you to exit off of the boat and onto the land. It is here where the great oak trees lie. Your feet know the way. You stand between the grandmother and grandfather oak. You place your hands open to receive and to offer, to be present. Oh, when, oh, when, oh, when. It's here that you can feel yourself spinning of your own body's accord. 9 times you spin. Spiraling in and in and in and in. Into the heart of the world, into a time beyond time, and a place beyond place. As you spin, you are home. You look down at your feet, and you can see that they are beginning to walk a path that you have walked before, a path that you know, that is deep in your body, and your mind may be surprised by this path, but you walk. You walk up through this grand sanctuary and pathway of guardian oak trees, walking up and up a procession where you climb. You can feel the moistness on the ground, the leaves that are falling. Oh, when, oh, when, oh, when. You enter through into Avalon's apple orchard. These sacred trees on the Isle of Apples. You can see the red and the golden apples. Fruit of wisdom. Your feet continue to walk this path that you know. As you see this great mound. Holy, holy Tor. Holy labyrinth. Spinning potential of death and rebirth, of magic, of myth and mystery. It is here that you continue to walk, twisting and turning through the labyrinthine path. You can feel through your feet the energy running up your body, these ley lines of the dragon and of the divine feminine and the masculine, swirling through and back again, and you arrive. And see the sacred stone in the mouth. You pause and you can hear, Owen, Owen, Owen. And here you enter through with your devotion. You can feel yourself entering through, but yes, you can hear the invitation of Cerridwen for you to sound 3 times. Awen, Awen, Awen. Using your voice, you chant to yourself as you raise your hands up to the sky and down to the ground. This sound, Awen. And it is here with your voice that this great stone, the stone of creation, the cosmic egg, opens. It is dark. Awen, Awen, Awen. The portal entryway deep into the Tor opens and is revealed. And in this moment, you know that you are entering deep and down into the cauldron of Cerridwen, who has been beckoning you, who has been calling away. Knowing that you do not know what is inside. But when you are ready, you take this step through the threshold. And as you take those first steps down, you can feel a potent and beautiful embrace of the dark. You can feel your nerves settle and that you are indeed home. You can feel the power and the love of the womb of the mother, and you know that you can trust this darkness, that your body relaxes, trusting you are curious, excited, and your feet take you down and down and down. You spiral down through sacred tunnels and corridors, seeing magical chambers and other dimensions, healing chambers, mythical creatures. Continuing down and down, spiraling into the earth, you can feel and sense that you are in a holy, holy place, and you are welcome. You are meant to be here. You hear a crackle. You can turn to see a little bit of light, and you peek around the corner and hear a bubbling to see the massive cauldron of Cerridwen's brew bubbling. You can see the Awen and the actual mist is coming off of the bubbly brew. And you can sense and feel all of this moment that this has been waiting for you. Through the dark, the image of her appears, and there she is. She turns her face around that is hooded, and you see just a little bit of her lips as she holds her staff, and a crackling laugh. She turns. You turn to face one another in this sacred meeting that you have been waiting for, that she has been waiting for. This gaze is an embrace of the great mother, of great, great love and devotion, and a reflection for you. For you embodying your full dreams to live your sacred quest of life. And she speaks. This is the brew of Awen. I have been waiting for you. This brew of that which will transform and reveal the essence of Awen within you that is your birthright. All of the alchemical ingredients I have been brewing for you, dear one, except for the ones that are needed by you. This Awen has been curated and alchemized for your journey, for your transfiguration, for your greatest dreams and visions to be carried forth in your life and for the world. You are to ingest this brew, my dear, that will journey you through the rest of the coming wheel, for the next cycle that is here and coming, that which is ending, all that is alchemizing in your blood, in your bones, in your cell, in your DNA. This brew supports your entire journey here in Avalon and for all that is coming. And she shares. For you to have this brew, my dear, this is where the journey truly begins. And there are 3 ingredients that are needed. The first from you. What is it that you wish to transform? What is transforming within you? And whatever that is, may you offer into the cauldron that which is ready to be transformed. This is offered into the cauldron, into the alchemical brew, by your intention, and the bubbles react, excited, aloud from the voice deep within you. All that you are wishing to transform has entered into the sacred cauldron. And this is the essential ingredient for your death and your rebirth. The second ingredient, she speaks. As you have offered this first ingredient, my dear, you are not a watcher or bystander of your life. You are claiming that which is ready to be transformed. And so, as you have offered this, what do you feel? What are you present to in your body now? Whatever your authentic truth is, place this into the cauldron now. The sacred ingredients alchemizes into the brew. You can feel in your own cells magic beginning to stir. Whatever you are present to is your truth, is your authenticity, is the fire of your spirit here. It is the catalyst for which the brew begins to bubble even stronger. Maybe you can feel this within your spine or your womb space. There is a connection with this brew into your body. The whole cauldron continues with great, great power, with smell, with sound. And the last ingredients she shares. My child, we honor all that has come forth to this moment now. What pains or burdens, experiences are ready to be let go of in order for this transformation to come to fruition. Speak this and offer it into the cauldron. Allow your truth to come forth. Lay the burdens down. Offer the pain and the suffering for that which has been challenging, and offer it into the brew. It is through this alchemy in which the power of Awen can be fully created. The fires ablaze, shooting up through the cauldron. Sacred activation of the brew is here. She honors you, dear one, and your courage is received. And so it is, and so it is, and so it is. In this moment, you can feel the heavens above you, down into the core of the earth in front of you, behind you. Shift is upon you now. Awen, Awen, Awen.
Cerridwen speaks again. Dear one, this is just the first part of the sacred brew. And this brew holds the unique alchemical frequency of your specific journey of your Awen. What can often happen in this process of transformation is that fear arises. Fear of what this process is going to ask of us, of what it is that you might need to let go of how relationships and dynamics and patterns may shift and change. But this is the most potent part of the transformation. It's the edge where you stay sovereign and you decide your path. Cerridwen places some herbs into the cauldron, and as the herbs hit the sacred waters, there is a flash of light. And with this flash, Cerridwen's face, her hands, her being reveals itself to you. And she asks you to reveal more of yourself to her. She speaks to the holy waters of the cauldron of truth and knowledge and wisdom to reveal your future. She asks God, Goddess, the great mystery, to offer you divine revelation of what is to come, what is in the process of becoming. And she speaks in hushed tones, some which you can understand, some which is beyond language, as she chants over and over. Awen, Awen, Awen. She beckons you close to the cauldron, and you go to as comfortably safe with the heat, the fires. And as you step closer, her chanting, Awen, 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 dissipates the smoke that has been rising up from the cauldron. And she asks you to lean forward. And you see your future. You see what comes from this epic change that is upon you, of this transformation that you're welcoming in. You see the way that every moment up until now has been all part of this becoming. You see yourself in the cauldron, your life, your relationships, and you see that everything, the hard, the messy, the challenge, the dark, the murky, and the pure bliss and joy that exists in the depths of the dark is creating something so awe-inspiring that is your greatest dream and destiny. This is what awaits you. And so you notice your body's response. Cerridwen asks the most essential question. Are you ready to drink of this? And with every fiber of your being pulsing, as the dark crone mother goddess asks you, with every emotion that is present, you say yes, yes, yes. I am ready. And there is one more thing for you to do. To speak and claim this potion as yours. To speak a spell that will seal in everything that has transpired. And with this spell, an activation occurs, into which all of these ingredients alchemize into the golden matter of Awen. And so Cerridwen asks you to look at her. Repeat after me. Place one hand on your heart, one on your womb space. Bring all of your intention. When you speak a spell, when you weave your frequency into the frequency of all of Gaia, magic happens. A timeline shifts, a quantum leap. an embodiment of self occurs. Breathing in and out. Please repeat after me out loud. Awen, ever-flowing stream of divine inspiration. Brewed in the cauldron of the Great Mother. I drink of thee to flow within me. And activate my codes of destiny. I bless the sacred site of my mind. I bless the holy love of my heart. I bless the creative power of my womb space. As within, so without. Maiden, mother, crone am I. As within, so without. I surrender to the great mystery. As I enter the holy process of transfiguration, I am willing to embrace and befriend my shadow. I am willing to release difficulty. I am willing to make necessary change. Unto the alchemical cauldron of the Divine Mother, I offer my sincerity. I offer my humility. I offer my vulnerability. Through this passage of the soul, I summon forth protection. I summon forth courage. I summon forth trust. I invoke the luminous light of Awen in my body, mind, and soul. I invoke the luminous luminous light of Awen in my body, mind, and soul. I invoke the luminous light of Awen in my body, in my mind, and in my soul. With devotion, I initiate myself as a vessel of love, truth, and wisdom. I reclaim myself as priestess, sorceress, wise woman, and witch. And I ignite magic now. I ignite magic now. I ignite magic now. By the power of the sky, of the land and the sea, it is done. It is done. It is done. Blessed be. Blessed be. Blessed be. Awen. 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 And the space between you and Cerridwen is lit with luminous light. And you are here more than you've ever been before. The brew has received your exact words, energetic, currents, magic that it's been waiting for, needing to coalesce. Cerridwen picks up her chalice with the symbol of Awen engraved into it. And she scoops this potion up as she hands it to you. My dear, she says, you are going to ingest and bless yourself. That Awen becomes a living embodiment, that it courses through your cells, your blood, the physicality, into your emotionality, into your spirit self. You are going to draw Awen on the most sacred points of your being that are tied into the lands of Avalon. And so she holds out her chalice for you to dip a finger in. And she asks you to draw the symbol of Awen with the 3 drops, the 3 dots, the 3 lines or rays coming off, and the 3 circles around, encasing it. And you will begin at your womb space. And so taking that finger that is wet with the brew, and you draw Awen over your womb space, the earth. Feeling what that feels like as your skin is touched. And then she asks you to take a sip from the chalice. And as you ingest this sacred essence, as it melts into your tongue and your mouth and down your throat, you feel that this brew has been waiting for you for all of eternity, filled with sacred ingredients, your sacred spell of commitment, and you come alive and alive. Awen, Awen, Awen. And she asks you to dip your finger in again, to bless your heart space with the symbol of Awen, the 3 drops of inspiration, the 3 rays, and the 3 circles, tattooing it over your being, over this sacred place of truth and love, reflecting the love that is Avalon, reflecting the love that takes care of you and all. Feeling the wetness upon your skin as it permeates and penetrates through this boundary of skin into your essence. And again, she asks you to take a drink of the brew. Feeling another layer as this comes into your mouth and down your throat of activation, as the emotionality of your own love and your heart, the infinity well of love and loving is touched into. And finally, for the last blessing, dipping your finger into the chalice once again to bless over your mind into the sky realms, drawing that beautiful sacred symbol of Awen, marking your 3rd eye to open, to receive, to grant access to the transmissions from the cosmos, from the divine, from all the layers of the unseen. Creating a permanent space by this marking for Awen. And then you take the last sip of the brew. Feeling it hit a different or deeper or richer part of your being, this 3rd drop. And you start chanting Awen. Awen. Maybe it comes through like that. Maybe it's the soft whisper. Awen. Awen. Maybe it's the force of Awen. 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 Allowing yourself to speak as it most wants to come through you. It is done. It is done. It is done. Cerridwen peers at you with those piercing, devoted eyes. I see you, she says. I honor you, she says. I celebrate you, she says. Blessed be your journey of change, transformation, transfiguration. Blessed be the potency and the courage that you carry into this. Blessed be the future that is to come. And with the cauldron in between the two of you, you honor Cerridwen in whatever way feels most resonant to you, perhaps giving thanks, giving praise, offering devotion of what you have received and what will continue to assimilate, reveal into every facet of your being. And as you gift her with a prayer, a song, a blessing, perhaps some material object that you have, you feed her. You feed the holy, you feed the dark, you feed the crone, you feed the goddess. It is time for you to depart, she says. And with the deepest gratitude in your space, you know that no matter what, she is here with you, for you, always. It is time to leave this cocooned, dark space within the Torah, knowing you can come back. You are welcome. And you begin to make your journey back, saying goodbye once again to the sacred cauldron, to the fires, to that magical brew. Beginning to walk past all the chambers of magic and mystery and of the dragons, making your way back up and up to that space that was revealed to you with the rock opening as you entered into the Torah. And just before you step through this threshold back into the Holy Lands, you place your hands at both sides of that opening in the earth, giving one last blessing of gratitude for this mound that rises up, that is the Torah, that connects deep into the earth, to the song lines and the ley lines, and deep into the heavens, all of the cosmos, all of the starry configurations. And as you step out, you see that it is fully dark now. And you begin to follow the same path that led you there to this opening, a path that you know well in your bones, the path that leads you back to the apple orchard. Seeing all these beautiful old growth apple trees, those who have witnessed priestess after priestess in her studies, in her initiations, in her remembrances, seeing the very last of the apples still on the trees, some on the ground. On one of those trees, there is a beautiful, ripe apple. And this is a sacred offering to you from Avalon as you sit on these lands once again in this lifetime. And so you pluck that apple from the tree and sit down upon the cool earth, breathing in all of the energetics that are here and present, all that you can see, all that lies with the opening of spirit perceptions and senses. You take in the night and place your hands somewhere on your body to give recognition to all that you've just experienced as you've entered onto the holy isle of Avalon, of the dead, of the other world, as you have been greeted and taught and shown through the willingness of the goddess Cerridwen. And it is here that you will remain. And so in this moment, we call you back now. We call you back into your earthly body, into this sacred day within the Samhain portal, calling you back from these sacred lands for just right now, knowing that we will begin our sacred journey tomorrow back in the apple orchard, bringing all of you back, taking deep breaths as you return. Bringing all of you forward. Bringing forth all that you experienced. And if you wish to lie here for a few moments in quiet, please do. If you wish to roll over and write anything down that is significant and important and essential, please do. So we will give you some moments of quiet.
So, beloved sisters, we honor all that is stirring within you. Sacred Awen, your divine inspiration, your magic, your essence through all the layers and energetic levels of your very being, from the depths of your blood and your bones and your cells and your skins and your organs to the parts of you that encompass the land, sea, and sky, the starry self, and your connection to the infinite and the cosmic womb of the mother, through all timelines, spaces, and dimensions, and coming into this merging of liminal and linear time. It is now that we come to focus into the sacred circle of our sisterhood and our sharing, so that this journey that is alive now can really come forth through the power of your truth, to be witnessed by another and to share. And we honor the time as well. And so this is the invitation to stay on for our sister sharing portion. If you need to leave at this time, we ask that you please create some moments before you transition and to say a prayer of closure for this moment now, knowing that there is more to come. And then when the replay comes later today, to make sure to come listen to the end, and of course to your sister shares if you can, because there's a ritual piece that we want to invite you into tonight. So with that being said, our invitation to come forth in your sharing is really a part of this alchemy that is taking place within you, that then is offered into this larger brew of the cauldron that is bubbling right now. So from what you have experienced and what is true for you right now, we welcome you to share. And in the sharing, for you to please speak your name and where in the world you are. And then there's two parts to this sharing, which is very much a part of the ritual. And so little Lyra's speaking her Awen right now. So the first is, where in your body is Awen waking? So feeling that within you right now. And then the second is, what does your future hold? And when you share what your future holds, may this be a proclamation and with crystallized clarity. So this could be 3 words or a couple sentences. We want to give time and space for as many shares as possible. So again, your name, where in the world you are, where in your body is Awen waking, and what does your future hold? And then when you are complete, as this is a part of the spell, you can share Awen, Awen, Awen. And so it is. And whatever that, or abracadabra, that which is the anchoring of your truth. And if you are here live and yet not on video, you can also share this in the chat, and you can also share it in our Facebook group. And in this way, we honor you, we welcome your voice to come forth, and you can unmute, and the space is yours to please bring your voice forth. Blessed be.
Hello, my name is Freya. I'm coming to you from New York. Awen is waking in my womb space, and my future looks like releasing old burdens that don't belong to me and stepping into my true path. Awen, Awen, Awen. And so it is.
And so it is. Hello, Freya and sisters. My name is Janelle. I'm in Seattle, Washington with my cat, Freya. There she goes. And I wanted to say hi, Lyra. We heard you. We love you. Meow, meow. And thank you, Amaya. Thank you, Ashintia, sisters. Owen is awakening in my mind, in my head, and in my heart. My future looks like greater devotion to this Avalon path. Owen, Owen, Owen. Blessed be.
My name is Gina. My name is Gina. I am in New York. In my third eye, Awen lives. So that I may serve in my infinite potential for the highest and greatest good. Awen, Awen, Awen.
I'm Leslie Baker from New York, Rochester, New York, and I feel it in two places, my third chakra and my third eye, and it's a release, reclaiming goddess in service, and I'm so grateful. Awen, Awen, Awen.
My name is Phyllis. I'm in Toronto, Canada. Awen is awakening in my heart, in the channel between my heart and everything. And my future is freedom. My future is stepping out of the shell of what no longer serves and stepping into the joy of my genius path, why I'm here. Awen, Awen, Awen.
My name is Katie. I'm in Sydney, Australia. Awen is awakening in my solar plexus and in my hands. And my future looks like receptivity to abundance without fear. Awen, Awen, Awen. So it is.
Good evening. My name is Sophia. I am in London and I can feel Owen into my womb space and my third eye very strongly as I'm speaking right now to you, priestesses and sisters. And the future that calls to me is a very strong link with the dragon eye and the dragon egg in the Tor. And I have strong visions and connections to be in service as a priestess of Avalon. Thank you.
My name is Carissa. I am hailing from the Pocono Mountains of Pennsylvania. I feel Awen awakening in my solar plexus and my throat to remove the blockages of fear, to be able to speak my message without this fear, and that I may be of service. Awen, Awen, Awen.
Hi all. I am Hi. I am from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Alwen is awakening in my womb space. The future that calls to me is preparing to bring magic into motherhood. Alwen, Alwen, Alwen. Thank you, everybody.
My name is Amanda, and I'm in Connecticut. Awen is awakening in my high heart and throat chakra. And in my future, I see community, the giving and receiving of love and support for my family. Awen, Awen, Awen.
My name is Francesca. I am sitting in the snowy Teton Mountain Range. Awen is in my third eye, channeling. My future self is dancing. She's in communion with nature. She's celebrating, and she's experiencing motherhood. Awen, Awen, Awen. So be it.
I'm Jennifer, in the East End of Long Island in New York, and I am feeling in my heart is just pounding, and my mind. I love listening. I love the ideas, and the future me is just expanding with light and love and truth. I'll win. I'll win. I'll win.
My name is Bianca, and I am here in Costa Rica. And Awen is awakening in me, in my left ovary, in my womb, and my upper left shoulder. And my future holds stepping into deeper leadership to awaken and remember the divine feminine on the planet right now.
Hello, beautiful sisters. I'm Aja Rose. Awen is awakening within me and my solar plexus, and my future self is holding collaboration with brothers and sisters and deep connection, celebration, and healing through music, dance, and peace, and deep devotion to Gaia Sophia. Thank you all.
My name is Helen. I'm in London, Ontario, Canada. Awen is awakening in my root chakra and traveling all the way through my chakra system. My future holds clarity and connection in all forms. Awen, Awen, Awen.
Hi, I am Michaela. I'm in Israel. My Awen is awakening in my solar plexus and throat. And my future holds fulfillment and joy. Awen, Awen, Awen. And so it is.
Hi, I am Ibelice. I am in Amsterdam, even though I am Bolivian, Brazilian. I feel the Awen in my hands, in my heart space, and in my womb very strongly. I'm super hot. I'm burning here, even though it's very winter. And my future holds community, healing, alchemy, and a very deep call to the priestess path, devotion, and curanderismo. Awen, awen, awen.
Hello,
Hi.
sisters. Oh, am I talking over someone? No. I had to hit unmute before I lost my nerve because my Awen is opening in my throat chakra. And I don't know why I'm so nervous right now. Just to speak. But I guess that's probably why I can feel it here. I've been on the priestess path for over a year now, and I did not understand my journey. I suffered a stroke and I was blinded in my left eye a year and a day before I answered the call to my first live, which was the Magdalene journey. This is my second. And I didn't understand why the things that had happened to me had happened to me. And I didn't understand why I was being led here. And I'm still trying to understand, but I'm happy to be here. And I can feel your love. And I'm very appreciative of it. Thank you for wrapping me in it, sisters. Awen. It's how it is.
Hi, my name is Charlie, and I'm from Amsterdam and living in Los Angeles. Awen is awakening in my heart, and my future is holds I saw a lot, love, deep heart connection, joy, golden light, nature, music, art, poetry, and trusting my emotional power. Thank you, Awen, Awen, Awen.
My name is Matilde, and I'm in Mexico, in Los Mochis, and Awen is awakening in my womb space. And in my future, I see beauty and healing and abundance. Awen, Awen, Awen.
My name is
Hi,
Patty.
my name is
Hi.
Alexandra. I don't know if you, sorry if I was talking over someone too. I am in Paris, France, and I'm working up the courage to share with you and I'm thanking the beautiful sisters who spoke before me and who actually gave me the courage to speak, because I heard some share the same thing that I'm going to share right now, which is, and which terrifies me, is that I feel Owen awakening in my womb space for the first time. I realize I've never really felt grounded to the earth, and my future is motherhood, which is very scary to me, but that's what came up during this powerful meditation. So Owen, 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 thank you.
Hello, my name is Dalia. I'm currently in Dubai, although I'm from Saudi Arabia. Awen is waking up in my solar plexus and my heart space, and I feel my future involves me finally fully stepping into my power as a woman, as a priestess, as a sovereign being. And I also see hopefully see myself inspiring that form of awakening and sovereignty in all my sisters who are unable to do that in this land and in this space, and for all the ancestors who are also were unable to do that. I give thanks to them, and I give thanks to all of you. I'm so honored to be here. Awen, Awen, Awen.
Awen, Awen, Awen. Blessed be, sister. Thank you. For time-wise, and I see your hands. Mona, you had begun to share one other person, and maybe that was Crystal. So if you are still here, can you please bring your voices forth now? And just so you know, if you are not sharing today, it's in this way we encourage the continued sharing in our Facebook group via either video or in your words, and really encouraging, challenging the video piece so you can audibly say this out loud. And then we will have time, of course, in our next 2 live temples to share as well. So just want to share that. So if Mona and Crystal or whoever else was sharing, if you want to bring your voice forward now.
Hi, my name is Mona. I'm not sure if you guys can hear me or not. But yes, I am from Chicago. And right now I am feeling Awen in my womb space. And I believe in my third eye, in my consciousness, more deeply and trusting what I like another woman said, trusting my emotional side of self. And I see my future being more peaceful in communication with others, but also being at peace with myself and being able to communicate with others and moving forward with the goddess here, the goddess path. So that is it. I win, I win, I win.
Hi, my name is Siobhan. I'm hoping you can hear me. I'm originally from Ireland, but I live in San Diego. And when is awakening in my womb, and my future holds visibility and holding the light on a very large stage. Awen, Awen, Awen.
I'll go if no one else is going. I'll go.
Please do.
My name is Leisha. I'm from New Orleans, but I'm in Alaska. And I really feel it in my throat, making me shake. I see my future in living fearlessly and walking my own path into Samhain. I'll win, I'll win, I'll win.
Hello, sisters. I am Amma from France, from Brittany, and I feel Awen on the base of my neck, as well on my third eye chakra. And the vision I hold for the future is a deeper connection with Gaia and the nature, as well as a walk with the divine masculine and the feminine divine sacred, and this unity, this walk with priest and priestess. And yeah, Hawen. Thank you.
Awen, Awen, Awen. Thank you, sister. Thank you all sisters who have shared with your voice. And oh, I'm hearing an echo. I'm just gonna, if you have your, okay, maybe this is better. A few of you were unmuted. You can just, you are muted, that'd be great. Thank you. So we honor all that has been spoken and all that has yet to be spoken. All of the shares that are here in the chats, we honor all that is coming forth. When we place our hands in this way, if you were asking, we are really bringing forth the presence of when the divine inspiration, our hearts to reflect to one another, really this expression of I see you, and I honor you, and all that is coming forth. And so the invitation that we have in the continuation of our sister shares is, if you haven't spoken yet and wish to, please go into our Facebook group. That is where the circle continues, the sacred bonfire of Samhain through all of these days and nights. And we would love to hear your voice and or your writing. And we are going to continue. This is a pause. And so I am going to, from this place, say my well wishes and goodbye. Maya is going to share a closing ritual that we have an invitation for you for tonight, and then we will see you again tomorrow. So from the awen that is stirring in all the cells of my being to the awen that is awakening and stirring within you. I see you, sisters. I feel you. I honor you, and I'm so honored to be here with you. I bow. Thank you, Cerridwen. Thank you, Avalon. Thank you to all that is releasing and all that is and shall be rebirthing during our time together. So much love.
Thank you, Achintya. Thank you to all of you who have shared and with your voice, and all of you who have shared in the chat box. And again, if you want to bring your shares to our Facebook group so we can keep on just juicing up that which revealed itself to you and will continue to, please, please, please do so. Every one of you is absolutely seen and honored here. And it's so brilliant as you're all sharing to see where we all are in the world and what ties us together. And right now that's Avalon. And right now that's Cerridwen and Awen. So we have a couple evening, or perhaps if it's already evening and you're ready to sleep in the morning, practices for you. So remember that, you know, these next few days, and of course the 6 days, we are in deep ceremony. And so yes, you may be, you know, cooking food for your children or your beloveds, or working on the computer or out in the earth. We're in ceremony. So everything that happens from this point on is very important. You kind of just put it into your medicine basket, picking up all these morsels. So it may be dreams that arise tonight. It may be a conversation that you have with somebody. It may be food that you're pulled to eat to nourish your body. Pay attention to every sign. It is a communication because we are in ceremony. Please make sure to eat well, to take really good care of yourself, to have lots of good fluids in your body, because this body temple is that which will continue the assimilation, digestion, and integration of all that's here and all that will continue to arise. So for this evening, we'd love for you to, or tomorrow, sometime before we meet again with the Morrigan, is for you on the earth, if it's possible. For some of you, this is not possible, or it's snowy and it's cold. We do the best that we can, right? You can draw this on a piece of paper as well and do it in your home. So we're going to ask you to draw the symbol of Awen, the 3 dots, drops of inspiration, the 3 rays, and the 3 circles that go around onto the earth or on a piece of paper in your home if the earth is not accessible, and to simply stand on this symbol to feel this emanation, the frequency of the sacred symbology coming up through the earth into your body. And so really feeling this coming up, opening the soles of your feet, which are divine and direct communication to the earth. And then throughout this next day, chanting Awen. Again, in whatever way, maybe it's Awen, or the hushed whispers. Somebody was saying here, the whispers on the winds. Or the directiveness of the dark goddess, Awen, Awen, Awen. Especially channeling that into the places that feel they're waking, your womb space, your hands, your throat, your third eye, your solar plexus, your feet, all these places in the physical body. And so just let that be your sacred mantra, your sacred chant to keep you invested in these energies, to entrain your nervous system, the entirety of your system, into the energetics that are here. If you wish, you can leave a bowl of water out tonight to catch the energies, right? So as Cerridwen was saying, you can sip this Awen brew for a year and a day. And so you can catch these waters, infusing them with the night, infusing them with our temple, all that came forward. And you can use this and you can ingest this throughout the next year and a day. You can do it once a day, you can do it once a week, but it will anchor you into this moment, into this time. And remember to reach out and share with all of us, because we're all in this sacred journey together. If you have your apple, you can cut it, the sacred holy apple that you picked from that beautiful old timeless apple tree on the holy Isle of Apples. The symbology of the apple is very significant. Yeah, you can look at Achintyas. My apple didn't really create it. But when you cut an apple into slices, right down the center, you see a 5-pointed star. So Achintya, you can hold yours up a little bit more. Now the 5 points of nature are the sacred pentagram of magic, of mystery, and they also 5-pointed within nature specifically help you to incarnate, to choose this existence as a priestess of Avalon, as a woman of this time, as someone who identifies as woman of this time, as a holy chalice at this time. And so when we ingest it, we're ingesting wisdom, embodiment, and all that came forth with Cerridwen. So enjoy that sacred, juicy apple. This will feed you as you fed Cerridwen with your prayers, your gifts. You are fed, you are holy. I have noticed as you chew how this apple feels now in this process of transfiguration. So you can continue to eat apples. I see someone said she was going to make some sort of apple soup. You can continue to infuse your food and your meals with apples over this next day. And really, again, just everything is ceremony. everything. And so now we come to completion, although we get to journey together tomorrow. And so let's just take a few deep breaths. Perhaps as we began in the beginning, taking 9 deep breaths, an extension of the 3 that exists with the 3 dots, the 3 rays and the circles, and that 9 that makes up the 3 dots, the 3 rays and the 3 circles. Thank you, Avalon, for parting the mists with ease and grace and love and safety. Thank you for letting us land on your holy landscape. Thank you, Cerridwen, for your devotion to the sacred brew of Awen. And so together, let's chant Awen 3 times as we come to completion. Taking a breath in and out. Breathing in. And then Awen. 2 more times. Awen. Blessed be, beloved sisters. Merry meet, merry part, and merry meet again tomorrow. So much love and gratitude. Thank you for the ways you're serving yourself and therefore each other, and then Avalon. Blessed be.